So, I've just finished 2 weeks at the BMJ, British Medical Journal. If you watched my last video, you'll know I was absolutely petrified of going there. I thought I was going to be stuck in a room full of serious, stuffy scientists who were going to sneer at me and my arts degree. I'm pleased to say that I couldn't have been more wrong. I've never worked in a friendlier office, and I had a really great time there. To be honest, I could probably have stayed there rather than going back to City, which I'm doing on Monday. It was very, very different to Diva. It's a weekly magazine and it's very news driven. They have to stay on top of what's going on in the medical world all the time, and you know, when I was there was the breast implant scandal going on, so that we were always having updates from that, and the NHS bill was going back and forth between the Lords and the Commons, and we had a meeting every morning to just share what had been going on in the newspapers. So that was, you know, very different, very interesting. I've never worked anywhere like that before. And a lot of my time there actually felt like almost work shadowing the magazine editor, Trevor, who's just so lovely. And I went to lots of different planning meetings, and I was continually just surprised by the place. I didn't really know what to expect because, not being a member of the British Medical Association, hadn't really seen much of the BMJ. But you can see it's sort of, it's an odd mixture of a magazine and a journal. So like at the front you have very like, you know, sort of almost like the Economist sort of news sections. But then you get into the middle and then you've got rather more sort of serious reports and papers, which I don't understand at all. So I was obviously working on the magazine section, not having any clinical knowledge at all. But you know, I was always surprised. Like one thing that was really fun for me was I sat with the art team for a few days, and they really pride themselves on having great covers, as you can see. Like they could have just gone for a really horrible picture of a disease here, but they've got some nice illustration, sort of quirky photography. Like they do try and think conceptually, so that was really interesting for me because I am interested in that side of magazines. One of the great things about being an intern is that if there's a press conference and they're kind of not sure if it's going to be interesting or not, they're like, send the intern. So I went to some amazing places like Royal College of Physicians and the Royal Society, Royal everything. And that, you know, that was really fun. I actually felt like a journalist. I loved being like Hannah Bass, BMJ, and got some good stories out of that and pitched things to the blogs and to the news online section. And they were really good at catering to my interests and my strengths. So in one of my first tasks was they sent me off to an exhibition which I reviewed. And I'm very interested in reproductive rights, so I ended up writing something which will hopefully go in the actual printed magazine on abortion rights campaigners in America. So yes, I just had a great time and was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and surprised I came away thinking, well, now I want to work at a medical magazine. So I would encourage people looking for work experience to go out of your comfort zone and go for the specialist magazines, go for B2B. Have friends who have also had great time on Inside Housing, for example. And you never know, you might surprise yourself.